Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to another episode of the Faralynn and Friends. So for today's video, I have invited my friend who is actually not from Malaysia. She has been in Malaysia for I think 10 years. And today I specifically invite her for one of my video series just to share her experience being in a foreign land and how did she cope with the struggles and maybe some adversities that she faced throughout her stay in Malaysia. So with me here today is Tifa. I've met Tifa when I started doing my master, in which 3 years ago, 2017. Yeah, so we met in 2017, and Alhamdulillah, we're still friends now. We're still friends now, and thank you so much, Tifa, for agreeing, for saying yes to become one of the guests for my series today. So, Tifa, perhaps you can start by introducing yourself.
Thank you, Farah. Thank you for inviting me. Something new for me as well. Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Tifa Yasmin. You can call me Tifa. I have my last name, but I didn't put in the passport, so it doesn't really show. It's weird. Anyway, me and Farah is the same age. We're the same age, right?
Yeah, we're the
Yeah.
same.
We're
Yes, we are.
27 now, so we are old. We are old. Anyway, yeah, like Farah says, this is my 10th year in Malaysia and counting, I think. Hopefully, we'll see how.
Okay.
So, it's just a brief about myself. I'm a tourist in my own country, so don't really ask me about my own country. Anyway, I'm from Indonesia. I was born in Jakarta. So, I've been traveling since I was, I think, primary one. That's when my dad went to Brunei, and we stayed there until I finished my O level. And then my parents decided that I need to go outside of Brunei to be independent. So that's why they sent me here. I was actually looking at some brochure for sciences courses because I was in the science class, but I end up as a finance student and graduated as a bachelor in finance and working in one of the investment bank for Canada. So I'm in the finance department right now. So I graduated 2015. So this is my fifth year working.
Oh, I see. So it's like half of the time, like 10 years, right? And then first 5 years is you're a student, and then the next 5 years is you're working. Wow.
Mm,
Oh, mashallah.
yes.
That's so, oh my God, I'm excited to ask more. So,
Go ahead.
so yeah, guys, so Tifa is actually from Jakarta, Indonesia. And you studied in Malaysia in finance, right? In finance.
Mm,
So just now you said like you were actually looking for brochures for science courses, but then you end up with finance. What
I
leads
did.
to that? Yeah.
Uh, when you're a kid, you don't really think too much, and
Mhm.
you don't really have that burden of deciding what to do. So, because I was from science classes, I did not major in any of the accounting or economic, all those kind of social sciences subject. Actually, my accounting and economic was my like 8 or 9 subject. So yeah. Yeah, so it's totally random. So I was looking for like marine biologists, volcanists. I was deciding I had this one thing in my head that it was easier to deal with nature rather than human. Gee, can I really say that?
Okay.
Then suddenly, because I haven't decided anything, and my parents didn't really force me to like, oh, Kaka, it's already time for you to decide, so hurry up and decide. No, so they
Mm.
take another initiative, as in, um, behind my back that really search, and then they suddenly say, oh, why don't you try to be in MMU and go for the business courses. So I didn't really like, how to say, I just say yes to whatever they say because I don't really know what to do with myself. So yeah, that's how I end up in Malaysia. I didn't really think of living on my own. So
Mm.
when they say that, oh, let's go to Malaysia and you need and check out the campuses there, and I was like, okay. why not? Mm.
Mm.
I wish I can go
I
back to
see.
that state.
Yeah, when it's easier.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god.
Okay. So, um, so basically, it's like, are you saying like Malaysia is not really, how do I put this? Like you said, your parents suggested, oh, why don't we go to Malaysia and see if there's any university? Were there any other choices before Malaysia? Like, okay, I know your parents doesn't want you to stay in Brunei, so was like
Mm.
Indonesia was one of it, or yeah, maybe Southeast Asia countries,
I
Singapore,
can't
yeah, maybe
remember.
Singapore.
Maybe I can't remember, but one of the brochure that I kept was from UMS actually.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I was deciding. Oh, this is
Sama.
interesting. I can learn marine biology, so I can actually learn to swim, and I can talk to the fishes and all those stuff. So I was thinking about that.
So, being in Malaysia now for 10 years, would you mind sharing about the experience of being in this country, maybe during the first few years of your uni days?
um, how to say? I went here, and then they did mention because my parents like apply from this is an organization where they collect all the application, process all the application for university. So it turns
Mm-hmm.
out that there's someone else that is applying to the same university as myself.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go to MMU, when we reach in, settle down all the admin things. So I met her, and then we become buddies. Yeah, so
Ah.
since we took the same courses, so we are roommates. So I don't really feel like alone because you have someone there 24/7 for you. So I don't really feel like homesick or whatsoever. So wherever she is, I will be there. If I think back, I realized that, oh, that's why I didn't really feel homesick at that time, because
Mm,
she's a replacement for my parents.
I see.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is my realization now lah. If I look back, what happened during the first
mm,
few years of my university life.
I see. So it was bearable because of this friend that you had.
Mm,
So less homesick
homesick comes later, I think.
later. When?
Yeah,
When is that?
when I rent out, I move out from the campus
Mm-hmm.
hostel, and I move out and rent out with some of my friends as well. And one time, I think I didn't really go back home during semester break, and then
Mm-hmm.
I start to feel, I don't know, it's the feeling is very vague because this is the first time I'm feeling it. It's very very strange because I started to feel like my body start to burn, and I have fever, and I occasionally cry, and there's a one time I cannot hold it. Then I
Mm-hmm.
crept to my friend because she was sleeping, the same
Mm-hmm.
roommate. So I crept
Mm-hmm.
and then next sleep next to her, and I cried. And then she was like, "What's wrong with you?" I don't know. I just feel like crying. I think I want to go home. So I told her that,
Oh,
and then yeah. So and then she was like, "Just go home. It's semester break anyway." And then I decided to go home, and then I feel better. Strangely, I feel better after that. Where's the fever?
oh. I guess it's a one one kind of thing where I guess maybe
Yes,
it's at that time you need comfort, so you're
I
feeling
think
comforted.
so.
I don't know. I see. So then, so I guess when you come as you started your uni, it started well, right? And you still have that friend who lessened that homesickness. Is that a
Yes,
word, homesickness?
I'm not sure.
Then eventually, like later on, that's when you realize, oh, you really miss home, these things. So
Mm.
are there any challenges that you face when you're studying?
I can't really remember challenges that I faced during studying because,
Mm.
to tell you the truth, studying is not my biggest like problem, my biggest
Oh.
a dilemma or whatsoever.
Mm.
Alhamdulillah, is an easy says, oh, if even though if I don't really study well, I can still score. As in above
Ah.
the. Am I
Pandai ya
bragging too
ni,
much?
budak pandai ya.
Well, you can say that if you want to say. If you want to put it that way, you can say that.
Yes.
So I'm not really struggling with my study. So
Mm.
it's just that during my stays here, I started to appreciate my parents more. Do you know that kind of feeling? It's
Mm.
like since because all this while I don't really say like, oh mom, I had a bad day today, or oh mom, I want to buy this kind of thing or that kind of thing. I don't really say that to her because I just like,
Mm.
oh, this is my life, that's her life. So as long as
Mm.
I went back home and then she's there, then I'm okay. But right now, since she's not around, so I feel like
Mm.
I have an obligation to tell her what's going on with myself, because I started to
Mm.
think that, oh, what does she how what did she felt when she left me here?
I
What do they feel
see.
when they left me here? Because I'm their only daughter. Can you imagine that?
Oh, okay. Oh
I
my
don't know what
God,
kind of
yeah.
trouble. I know, right? I don't know what kind of trouble, what kind of feeling, what kind of dilemma they're facing when they send their only daughter abroad for the first
Mm.
time alone, and then they
Yeah.
left back to Brunei. And yeah, I feel bad if I didn't tell them like I'm doing okay or I'm not doing okay. So I just started to appreciate them more, as in the form of telling them what I'm doing, how am I feeling, and if I had any problem, I tell them. But when it comes to problem, I tell them after I solve it, not when I'm
Ah,
having the problem, because I don't want them to feel like, oh, she's having problem, what do I need to do, or is she okay? No, I hate that kind of thought. I don't know what she's thinking
ah,
whenever I'm in a problem, so I prefer saying it after I solve it.
I see. Yeah, I guess somehow you're also showing to your parents that you are independent. Of course, the problem is there, but you try to solve
Yeah.
it yourself first, right? And I
mm.
totally understand when you say like when you're being away from your parents, that's when you start to appreciate them more. Because you know,
Mm.
like how people always say that the moment you lost
Lose
something, then you
something.
start, yeah, the moment you lose something, that's when you start to appreciate it more. So I guess in this context it's quite similar. Of course your parents still there, but that distance
Mm.
making it like, because you're not seeing them every day, right? And then you're like, and right now with this pandemic is, I guess it's harder. Do you feel?
Is For me is becoming harder because there are lesser people at home right now, as in where I'm
Mm,
staying.
mm,
So, and I'm working from home, so the feeling of togetherness is not there currently, and they're able to go back home. That kind of feeling, and I'm stuck
oh,
here, cannot go anywhere. So yeah.
oh, oh my god. Oh, but I think I guess, yeah, it's kind of like painful, right? I mean, I can't deny that. I mean, knowing that of course your housemates, they are Malaysian, so
Yes, they're Malaysian.
their family is like is still in the same country.
Yes.
So I think to go back, it's easier as compared to when you have to travel to another country to see your family, right? So that was in uni, and now, like you said before, you have been working for 5 years. That is long, like 5 years, right?
Mm.
How's the experience like working? And I think I would say the company that you work in is an international company. So
Yes, it is.
wow. So how like maybe you can share. I just want to know.
I'm embarrassed to say that I haven't changed or jumped to another company during these 5 years, because this is the company that I was in during my internship. And then
Oh.
Alhamdulillah, they continue my contract, and
Mm.
then they convert me into permanent. If you ask me what are my challenges, I'm not sure whether everyone feel this or not, but I break down during my first few months. No, there's one time I was having my meltdown or breakdown because I
Mm.
start to feel like I'm being trapped in a cage.
Mm.
Yeah, because the only thing I see is I need to wake up early, and then I'm stuck in this, I don't really say cubicle, but in this company, in this building, I cannot really see what's outside. And then when I go
Mm.
back home, I straight away go back home. I don't really enjoy the view during or to or from office. And yeah, there one time that after that kind of feeling, I started to break down like, oh, is this what I want? Is this how the working life is? Because when it's completely different from university life when you can manage your own timing. So you can wake up
Yes.
at 9 and then have your me time and then classes start at 12
Oh
and
my
then
God.
it stop at 2 and then the next class will be at 4. So you
Yeah.
get to really enjoy yourself, spend some time in between doing something else that you like. But when it
Mm,
comes to working life, it's just like you're sitting in front of the laptop from 9 to 6, not doing anything except for thinking about work. So it brought me to that kind of feeling that, oh, Fa, you are trapped in this, I don't know, in this brick, in this, in this
mm,
building, and then is this really what you want? But that only, so I cried.
mm,
I cried, and then when I go back to my place, they was like,
mm.
"Why are you crying? Is it the
Oh.
manager fault?" And I was like, "Oh no! It's just me. I just feel like trapped." And then they was like, "Okay, just go home and relax, recover yourself, and then if you need another day off, just let us know, and then come
Mm,
back when you're feeling better." So. I think the transition between university life and working life, I'm not sure whether everyone felt this, but that was what I felt during that time, being trapped,
mm.
like I'm living in a cage. I
Oh,
don't have any
yeah.
freedom or anything to look. Because that time my cubicle was a bit far away from the window, so I don't really see outside.
Mm. So basically, it's just your laptop, your colleague, books, or maybe papers, pen, all the
Yeah,
office things.
laptop, calculator.
Oh
Yes.
yes, calculator. I forgot you're doing finance.
Yes, but strangely, that feeling came again. I mean, that feeling. I I have that feeling again because my company was originally in Cyberjaya, so we opened up another branch in KL Central, if you know. So our
Mhm.
department moved to KL Central. It was very, very nice because if you like stressed out whatsoever, you need some snack, you can just go downstairs and then
Yeah, New
grab some
Central.
coffee or grab some drink
Yeah.
or food. You're right. It's very
Yes.
nice. But it makes me hate the ERL for some time because ERL is a transportation that brought me to the office. So it's like because can you imagine that from outside people are seeing us, the train is as if how to say, a closed space where
Mm.
people are inside and is bringing you to another closed bigger
Oh
space
my God.
where you spend for 8 hours. So I really hate the ERL at that time, even though I'm not going to work, but I still need to use that to go somewhere else. I really feel
Mm.
like that kind of feeling where you don't really you feel like you're in the closed space when even though you're in the big room, but you feel like enclosed. That kind of feeling
Mm.
really
Mm.
really stays with me for some times.
I guess it's like you're being
Is it
confined.
normal? Yeah, confined.
Yeah, I think it's when you say that, no, I think it's fair because okay, you go out and you go out from your place. The moment you reach the ERL station, you're still confined inside the ERL station, and I'm sure it's packed.
Yes, it's
Yeah, it's
packed.
packed. And then go to work with your work environment is like that as well. Like like the usual office environment. And then for 8 hours, and then you're coming back the same ERL, and then oh my god, I would be stressed out because for me myself, I cannot live like that. I mean the way I work, the way I live, I I I need to have that sense of freedom as well. So I totally get you when you say,
uh,
oh my god, you feel trapped, you feel like you're in a cage because yeah, it will make you feel like that if that's what you do every Monday to Friday. And somehow
yes.
it's logic when you associate ERL with something unpleasant because that's what you're
Mm-mm.
feeling, right? Oh my god, Tifa, I didn't know that. Oh my god.
Sorry, I didn't know as well. And in addition to that, uh, when you travel from Cyberjaya to KL Central, there are a bus that will take you to ERL, right? And I need to
Mm,
know the timing. So if I want to go earlier, then I need to
mm,
match my timing with the bus. And
yeah.
and again, I need to match my timing with the area as well. So in between, I'll go to the surau for a duha prayer if sempat, and then
Mm,
I'll rush to the to catch the train. But there are times like maybe that time it was a stressful period because I was on my own doing migration.
Mm-mm.
My manager wasn't there. I think she was during her maternity leave, or she was about to finish maternity leave, somewhere
Mm-mm.
around that. And I was dealing directly with my boss. They know how to deal with their level, but when it comes
Mm-mm.
to seeing us, how we work, they don't really know, because they only know how to talk with the, oh, she's feeling stressed, or can we try to see a solution for this, but they don't really see like, oh, how is your work, why is it making you stress out. They don't really know that, but my manager will knows that, right? Because she really know how what I was doing. So there are times like I I sleep at the prayer hall, and I keep on snoozing my phone.
Mm-mm.
And then this is the same thing happen in my office surau, because I
Mm-mm.
usually, if I'm too early, I just stay there and then pray, and then just take a few 5 or 10 minutes nap, and then sometimes I
Mm-mm.
snooze off, and then it was after like 9:30, and almost 10, and I was like, I text my manager, oh, sorry, I'm not feeling well, so I'm just going to go back. I already reached office, but I tell her that, sorry, I'm not feeling well, because I keep on snoozing my alarm, as if though I don't want to wake up, I don't want to face another day being like, oh, did I miss anything, did I make any fault, did I do too many error, those kind of things really haunting me. So there are times that I ask my friend like, "Oh, can you pick me up? I don't think I'm going to work today. I think I'm going to take an MC today." So that's when that enclosed feeling uh hingap lagi. So yeah, I don't know what.
Mm-mm.
At that time, I
Yeah.
didn't really feel like you have a problem, Fire. You need to solve this. No, I was thinking like, oh, this is only temporary. I think it's because you don't want to face what you're doing, but actually
Mm-mm.
you're running away from it. So that's the only thing that is in my head. I don't know whether
Mm-mm.
it's something I need to. I don't know how to mention it to my friend. I don't know how to describe my own feeling. I just like running away, I guess.
Mm-mm. So this happened like during the early years of your working.
uh No, it's during migration, and I was doing it on my own.
Based on what you share, it's a real thing when transition happen. You know, transitioning
Mm.
is a real thing because first is of course your transition from a university student to become a working adult, in which the responsibilities is different. Like you said, right? By being a student, you're so free. You're so free. You can
Yes,
just go to class. In
very free.
between class, you can do whatever you want. And when it comes to work, your working hours like 9 to 5, for example, like 9 to 5, and then that's and you have to work. There's no break in between. Okay, break for lunch. That's it, right? So it's very
Yes.
stressful. And when it comes to work, if it's not like we cannot make mistake, but whatever, like the moment we make a mistake, it will affect the company that we're working in. Not maybe the company is not like it won't go bankrupt, but the performance wise, in terms of our performance, our team performance, so
Mm.
somehow the pressure is there as compared to being a student. I mean, even assignments, sometimes you procrastinate, you do last minute, those kind of things. You know, it's so different.
But it's only affect us. Actually.
Yeah, and it only affects you. If you procrastinate, you don't study, it affects your grade, it affects your pointers, your GPA, right?
Mm.
So I think yeah, the transition is real and I totally get it. Transition is a valid thing. It's it's okay if we're feeling stuck or if we feel like we cannot adapt as fast as other people. Because different people will adapt differently to the environment.
Mm.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean like because of that you're a failure or you're not doing well, you're not good enough, and those kind of things. And I think it's important as well as we go through this phase. That's when the support is very very important. Support from the people around us. And I remember you mentioned just now like after you cried and then you went back. Someone was like asking you, "Are you okay? You should go back." I feel like that is so heart touching. Is that your colleague? Who was it that actually told you that?
The first time was my colleague, because they were
Mm,
worried about me. They
mm,
didn't really know me well, so they thought
mm,
that did they do something wrong?
But they're so
Is
nice.
it
I
the
mean,
work? Yeah. Like, FYI, my there's not much Malays in my company
I see.
because most of it is shift hour, so they're mostly
Mm,
uh, Chinese, Indian, here and there. There's a few Malays you
mm,
can count. Yeah,
So it's a
it's a
mix.
mix.
Yeah,
Yes.
mixed races, mixed culture.
Mm-mm.
Like social support, I said just now, support is very important because during this time, of course, we're struggling, right? And I guess that's when we need
Mm.
that comfort. We need that at least someone to tell us that we're doing okay, and just someone to just back us up. Yeah, because
True.
it's a difficult time.
At that time, I was thinking like, Fa, you're the problem, not them. So you need to solve it yourself.
I
I have that
see.
kind of thinking, so that's why I don't really tell my manager because it's not the because that was my first job, so I don't really know whether that thing is something that you need to tell your manager about because it's
Mm.
something that you feel. It's not something work related. Just
I
because of
see.
I was feeling stressed out, so that's why you cannot do your job. So if I tell them, I feel like, oh, you can't really do this job actually, so that's why you're feeling stressed out.
Mm.
I don't want them
I see.
to have that kind of thought. So I think that's why I didn't tell them about that.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable like for us to have that fear and worry because it's your first time working. And I think that I guess it's more the internal battle that you have as well. Yeah.
Yes,
I see. Do
me
you
and
manage
the
to
voices in
share?
my head.
Oh my god, yeah, the voices and everything. So did you manage to talk to anyone else aside from okay, you tell your manager, but that was like later, right?
Yes.
But during that time, during this stressful time, do you manage to talk to anyone within your social
I
circle?
don't think so. I don't think so. I just told my housemate that I wasn't feeling well. Can you pick me up? That's it. So I wasn't really reaching out for people. I wasn't really hoping for people to do anything. It was just me and myself because I'm not sure whether it is something for others to know or others to help me, or
Mm,
do I need help from others, or is it between me and myself? So I
mm,
was clueless about that. So
mm,
yeah, I think that's why it doesn't it came to me that if only, for example, if only my parents were there, so it would be a
mm,
comforting thing, or
mm.
if this happened, no, it doesn't really came across me at that time.
So it's more like so you're saying like you're unsure what would have made it better during that time, right? I
I was
see.
unsure.
But did you do anything like to help you cope with that situation?
Did I do anything? My manager start to return from her maternity leave, and my senior
Mm.
returning from maternity leave, so we shared the
Oh,
burden. So she was like,
okay.
"Fa, it's okay to make this kind of fault. Fa, it's okay.
Mm.
Fa, let's make it. Let's work it together, or let's come up with something to tell them why we did this, something like that." Because I was on my
Oh.
own. I didn't know what to do. It was my first job, so
Mm.
I was clueless whether I did the right thing, or I did the wrong thing, or how to answer to this. Those kind of thing you don't really get in university life, right? It's something that is a life
Yeah,
hacks that you learn along the way once you're
true.
in the working environment. So I was
Mm.
really innocent. I was really clueless about that until my senior came, until my manager came and shared the burden with me.
I see. Yes. So I guess in a way, it's like based on what you said, what I can see is having that another person, that someone to share, and not share, but to tell you that it's okay. It's normal to do this mistake. You know, I guess it's more like reassurance that whatever that you're doing is not the end of the world.
Yes, no one is dying. It's okay. No
Yeah,
one is
yeah,
dying.
yeah. Yeah, and it's so amazing when you say that. It just reminds me like how we humans, we are such a social being. And no matter how we feel like we can live alone and this kind of things, but still we need that social connectedness, at least to tell us or to comfort us when we are in distress, when we are in need.
True.
I think I think that's why God made us like many. Can I say
Many.
that? So weird to say it, but I mean, like God created us in like how to say like you know like the verse Allah cakap like Allah cipta kita berpuak-puak berkaum-kaum so that we can
Yes.
learn and from each other, right? So I think
Yeah.
there's a reason why God created us Like it's not just one human being. Like there's a reason why God created Hawa for Adam, because during that time
Mm.
Adam was alone and he needs a companion. So I
Complete
think
each other,
it,
yes.
yeah. So I guess that's how it is as well with as human. And sometimes it's not, sometimes what we need is not the solution, but we just need a space for us to be okay with all of these voices, all of these negative
Yeah.
feelings that we have. Like to just let me be with this for a while. And then once you make peace with that, I think inshallah, Allah will guide you to really work things out. It may be difficult, but somehow that reassurance that you have, it really helps. I don't know.
Yep.
That's how I would feel.
I learned how to ask help.
Yes, and I think that's very
I learned,
important.
yes, I acknowledge that I'm not on my own. This is not something that I need to bear for
Mm,
myself. So it's okay to tell people that you're not okay, that you're struggling. So as
mm,
for now, I'm totally different from what I was before because I don't really freak out easily. I know that if something happens, it's not the end of the world. No one is
mm,
dying, so it's okay. Things happen, you can still fix it.
mm.
That's completely
Yeah.
different now, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So I guess God put you through that difficult phase so that now you know how to manage it better. I mean, you can
Yeah,
manage it better, and you know,
I can,
like you learn something so big, like to ask for help.
true.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see things clearer now because when you're in that kind of situation, you can't really, things get hazy, things get blurred, you
Mm,
can't really think
mm,
straight. But once you get out from that mess, it's like you start to see why that kind of thing is happening and you start to rationalize about that. Like, oh,
mm,
this is what Allah wants me to learn. Or
mm,
this is what
mm,
He's trying to say to me. It's just that at that
mm.
time, at that point of time, I can't really think straight.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fair. I mean, like you said, it's hazy. You
It's
cannot
easy.
see. Yeah, you're just like so overwhelmed with this intense emotion. And that's why you need another person to bring you out.
Yeah, to try to clear things out. I don't know.
Exactly. Oh wow. Oh my god, I'm so loving this, Tifa. Okay. So I think we talk a lot and I guess
Very
I have so many I think I learned so many things from you, Tifa. Thank you so much for your willingness to share with me, with all of us who's viewing. And I think I believe that there are people who can relate to you and resonate to your experience and
hopefully.
your inshallah, inshallah. And alhamdulillah, now you're doing better. Now, of course, now you
Yes.
learn how to ask for help. So do ask for help next time. Yeah, and those who are watching, I think that is something very important. And yeah, thank you for saying it, saying that, Tifa. Thank you for saying it.
Saying out loud.
Yeah. All right. So one last thing, maybe is there anything that you would like to share to our audience before we really end this recording?
Um, there's one thing that I realized. I think I already mentioned this, but try to really appreciate your parents while they are there because there's this one time that I haven't seen my dad in a while, and I can see his wrinkles very obvious suddenly. You know that kind of feeling. So it made
I
me feel
totally
like,
get
oh,
that.
why you can. It made me feel like, oh, why your parents are getting old. Did you really serve them? Did you really care for them? So when you're away from them, especially during this pandemic period, try to really, even though they are near you, they're just like at the kitchen or in their own room, just try to really appreciate their presence because you don't really know their feeling and you don't really know when you are leaving them or where they are leaving you. So
Oh my
try
god.
to please try to appreciate them more. Sedih pula.
Oh my god! Oh, now you make me want to cry now. Oh my god!
I don't know why that kind of realization came to me, but it was really it was macam nak cakap dia memang a big realization like that time when that thought occurred.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god! Inshallah. So inshallah, let's make dua to our parents so that they'll
Yeah.
stay healthy and um we get to spend more quality time with them and appreciate them better before any of us will leave soon.
Yes.
All right, guys. So I guess that's it for today's video. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching until the end. I know it can be a long video, but I try. I mean, I'm not an expert to make it a podcast, so this is the best way that I can do. So, inshallah, may we benefit from the sharing that Tifa has shared with us from her experience. And if anything, feel free to share with us your experience as well. Or if you feel like you want to reach out to Tifa or you want to reach out to me, is that okay, Tifa, for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
Sharing
yeah,
is
please.
caring.
Yes, do reach out to those that you trust, to those that you know you can rely on. So till then, inshallah, we'll see each other again in another episode.